Commence primary ignition.
Hey, this is Marti Matulis. I play Vane on The Mandalorian, and you're watching the virtual Cantina Network.
There you go.
Look,
And there he is in person right over there.
And now live.
He's everywhere.
Yes, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of the Virtual Cantina Watch Along. Very excited about this episode for many reasons, but before we get into that, the why, the who, the how, and the what, Jeff, Dave, how you guys doing this week?
Good.
Doing well.
Well,
It's going to be a nice long weekend.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, very much, very happy Memorial Day to everybody over here in the U.S. of A. Hope everybody's doing well. But this is actually something. This episode came about actually in Japan. Marty, Dave, and I were watching the first episode of Andor as we were at the panel, and halfway through the episode, like, Marty, yeah, we're going to call you in for Rogue One. He's like, okay, cool. So
Twist my arm.
The newest member to the Virtual Cantina Hall of Fame, Mr. Marti Matulis. Marty, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you, gents, and thank you for the inclusion in that. Yeah, the Japan thing was awesome, and it was fun to kind of see Andor as we were jumping around doing those things, and I ended up following Elizabeth Delau and Denise Goff to Germany while the show was happening, and we were just signing, and I was like, don't tell me anything, but tell me everything.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I remember getting text messages in Germany, like, yeah, I'm hanging out with the Andor girls.
Yeah, just chilling. Had breakfast with Dead Ramiro. She was very nice.
Was it like
blue cereal?
Blue Cheerios? I don't know.
It was a chia pudding. It was a little bit Star Warsian. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Marty, it was great to have you at our event. That was a lot of fun in Japan.
That was great. Yeah, had a great time there. Thank you. Anytime you have an event, I mean, you bring the fun to the event.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I was actually thinking this the other day, is that besides our virtual events, you've only been to, you were supposed to do our California last year, but unfortunately you had adult. But you've only done our international events because you did London,
amazing.
You did Japan. But Marty will be at Boonta Eve, Texas this August as part of Rebel Scum Con.
Look at that. This is true.
Very excited about that.
Texas.
VIP.
Well, in fairness, some places in Texas are like a foreign country.
Yeehaw.
Yep. But VIP tickets are already sold out, and tickets are selling fast for our event. So if you want to come and hang out and be part of the shenanigans, please be part of it, and come in and hang out with us in Texas. I know Marty was part of the actual con itself last year. So Marty knows Kentucky and Josh and Bobby and all those guys are great guys. Very excited to have you with us in Texas.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna wear cowboy boots.
Oh yeah, where's that?
I don't know if anybody does that anymore, even in Texas, but I'm doing it.
You see, you need to wear it with shorts though, because you gotta pull the full Pedro from that panel when he was wearing the shorts with the knee high boots.
If I didn't have stork legs, I might consider it, but no shorts and boots and no utility kilts. Those are my rules.
There you go. Got to stick to them.
But yeah, we are watching Rogue One tonight, which we're very excited about because obviously, Andor.
Oh, Andor.
Ooh.
Come on.
Yeah,
that was something. I mean, I've now gone through it 2.5 times this last season, and it's just amazing. It's the most serious Star Wars we've had, and probably the most personal character stories, and it just is. It's a phenomenal piece of work.
And so many amazing monologues, which I think helps it stand out. Because like every character has some amazing sort of multiple pages of dialogue that they, go through that identifies them or whatever.
Now, I wonder, and I would love to have the perspective of seeing Empire Strikes Back for the first time in 1980 at the age that I am now. And how would I feel about that in comparison to Andor? Is that the most serious Star Wars? You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, fair point. Fair point. It was that wrecked me as a kid. I didn't know what to make of that, having grown up with cartoons and Disney movies, and suddenly like good guys are in trouble. They're not winning. That was pretty significant.
And on a downer.
Yeah.
So what was your thoughts on the fact that after all that, Cyril's life work went down the toilet because the fact that he put so much stock into Cassian, and Cassian's like, wait, who are you?
Who? I think every subverted expectation was brilliantly done. I think Cyril's demise, having that guy be so up his own hoo-hey, that everything fell apart in that last thing. Like his relationship fell apart. His entire life's work fell apart. The notion that everything he was working towards, the guy didn't even have an awareness of him.
They did meet at one point in the first season, but for like that split second where I thought they hadn't.
He did turn around, didn't he? He kind of clocked him once, but it was dark. Maybe he didn't really.
It was in the dark, like he was in the doorway or whatever, and he took that weapon.
Would Cassian remember? Because a lot of shit went down in Cassian's life since then. He
didn't get a good view. He didn't have that focus on an individual.
Cyril's life involved Cassian.
Cyril's hair was a lot floopier. We're on a completely different planet. Like I barely remember people from like city to city. So
he was definitely dressed in a very different manner, not in that uniform. That whole.
The one that gutted me, although I thought it was absolutely brilliant, was Luthen. Like his, the architect of this thing. The most passionate to the point of being almost a bad guy himself. Kicks it on a hospital bed. Sometimes you just croak in the hospital. So,
would you have rather they couldn't save him and he died in his shop? Maybe that would have been.
I liked it.
How that reaction would have been.
Leia had to, that was a nice tie up for her backstory episode. That kind of love hate that she had to be the one to do it because she was kind of like pushing him through most of their storylines,
right? Keeping him in kind of focused on the proper path or whatever. Even though
it was dramatic that she had to literally pull the plug as opposed to coming up and putting a blaster to his forehead or anything.
Right.
Get out of there quick. She
more of an act of mercy or whatever.
Machines and
the thing was that he also tried to protect her. I mean, you saw as a childhood when they were on Naboo at that cafe, he wouldn't allow her to press the detonator because he didn't want a child or Claire to have that on her hands at that time.
Yep. Had to ease her into this world.
Right. But honestly,
as brutal as it already was.
I will say this, and it's funny considering the fact that you just were hanging out with Denise. I need a photo with Denise doing on program.
Now he can.
That's going to be a great alternative cosplay for so many
Dedra and the PJs.
cosplayers.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
An easy one, and then they can, join in the running of the prisoners. But that's not something that she would have necessarily got to do.
Yeah, but still, it's. I mean, I think I've watched the last episode a couple of times, and I watched it obviously directly into Rogue One, and man,
that's what I haven't done.
I mean, even Krennic, he's so much more of a bastard now, and I thought he was a bastard before.
Proper bastard.
Yeah.
I haven't watched this yet. I've been waiting. I was going to go straight into it, but I knew we were doing this, so I kind of wanted to be a little, what is it, pushing 10 years now? I haven't really seen it much since I watched it a couple times when it came out. So I just started to kind of ease into it a little bit in that kind of early opening scene, which brings up one question. Jin is probably, 10, 15 years younger than the main story at the beginning when she's a little girl. Saw's bald in those little video things. I'm wondering how that lined up. When was he bald and when did he go like full rebel fro?
We also saw him without the gas mask.
Yeah, he didn't have the breathing apparatus yet.
Hadn't gone full huffer yet.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Andor leads you to believe, are his lungs messed up and he's needing oxygen, or is he like breathing the stuff that's the drug?
That he's into.
Maybe he's got a little salad going there, a little oxygen.
Know. Yeah, but we don't know where he is.
True. Know you're on Jeddah.
Pay no attention to that "Welcome to Jeddah" sign blinking behind you. So how was your trip, Marty? Did you have a good time in Japan? I know you were over to England and to Germany for a while.
Trip was amazing. Yeah, it was nice to be able to stitch a couple things together. I'd never been to Japan. That was phenomenal. As
I missed you. I was very disappointed. You got to hang out with these guys at the panel.
Yeah, it was great.
I never saw you once.
Tons of fun. The event was great. The show itself, I kicked around, as long as I can before I start to glitch out. Yeah, but diving into Tokyo was fantastic, and then took a week in London as an excuse to not go all the way home because Germany was the following week for.
That works. So, did you do your hi-fi bar hopping?
Not a one. I had them all over my map. I had little flags in my
that
Apple
intrigued
Maps.
me when you were on last time.
God, I was so excited to do that, and there just wasn't time. I found I had all these lofty ideas. I was going to take the speedy train all the way down to Kyoto, and I was going to do this and do that.
Grand.
It's such a dense city. I found a few coffee shops. I found a few toy stores. I was on the subway systems a lot.
Right.
And that was kind of it. I blew through 5 days without even thinking about it.
Yeah, I kind of was the same. I had mapped out many things to do in a bunch of different areas, and ended up pretty much staying near the hotel at first, and then hitting a few other areas a couple times, and then not doing all these things that I had planned, trying to do some of them and getting stymied by the train.
Yeah, well, the other thing I found was you get to a place, you have an idea based on what the internet told you, and when you get there, it's a whole different story. Either it's closed, or suddenly there's 5,000 tourists in front of the one thing you wanted to check out quickly, and now you can't even get in.
Timing is everything. There's also what I found it had to do with the subway system was that the connections you had to make weren't always clear on a Google Maps.
Right.
If you had a better idea, you could read the signs in the station, which I unfortunately could not. Google Translate was handy, but a big sign with a bunch of things on it is a little bit much.
Signs were nuts.
And I would get frustrated in the train stations trying to go from one line and that platform to another line and another platform. And maybe it's because I've never, done big city transit like that. Here in LA, it's a little kind of nothing compared to every other city.
Sure.
So, I felt that was my biggest hurdle when it came to trying to do things.
Yep.
So in London, you were completely incognito. You were wearing a T-shirt, with Vane on it, a Lego T-shirt. It was a week or two after your episode in season 3.
Yep.
How different was it? Because I know you had told me several times, there was several Marty sightings on the floor by fans who figured out who you were.
It happened a couple times. Yeah, there was one in particular when I was outside. There was that upstairs hallway that took you supposedly to the food court, but not really. There's a smoking area outside, and people were just kind of hanging out, and a lot of business people, not necessarily convention people. I was
that
having
was
a
another
snack.
convention.
One of the amazing snacks that you can find at 7-Eleven. I, survived off of 7-Eleven snacks while I was there. But I was just kind of walking around and I saw these two young Japanese kids kind of looking at me and they were chatting. And I was like, no, they just think nah. So I went down. I was going to go head over to where the water was. And I got maybe a couple hundred yards down the sidewalk and I heard them hollering. And they're like, and they had like a little translation on their phone. They totally pegged it. I don't know how it happened because it's not like this face is very recognizable as opposed to Vane, but yeah, they called it.
Were you wearing your Vane shirt this time?
Spencer, you probably saw it. I had I made up a convention image with Vane, and I had some kanji translated into Kakoi Kaizoku. It's a fancy, well-dressed, cool pirate. I thought that's kind of funny.
Nice.
And I had that done up on a t-shirt, and I went through one company, came back absurdly dark. I got another company. I'm not going to say their names. Also, we're like just screwed up, and I was down to the wire, and I'm like, I'm not going to make it. So I did not have my my Incognito Vane t-shirt this time.
Oh. Mm.
No, this time it was just me going, I'm Vane. I'm Vane.
Look at me. No, there were other times. I was witness to it when we were sitting down in the Andor panel. As everybody was kind of streaming in that door over to the right of us, and they were coming through. And I saw more than one person like walk past you, get about 10 feet back by, and literally do the double take and like walk back. It's like, wait.
I'm pretty clueless about that stuff. I don't. I was that kid in school. It's like, that girl likes me? No.
That was happening. People were just walking by. I don't know that anybody came back up to you and did it, but I'm just sitting there watching, and they're what?
Come here, buddy. I have a guest before we get started here.
Oh,
he's huge. You saw him last time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, he's a big boy.
Hey, yo, puppy.
Yeah. He's a 75-pound little baby boy. He just turned 1.
Oh, wow.
All right, dude. Bye, puppy.
But
is he a Great Pyrenees?
No, he's the English cream golden retriever, the other big white fluffy one.
Very cool. Well, also, as you might have seen on the page, we are on the road to 100,000 members. We are at 97.2 right now, and we're going to be having some really, really nifty giveaways starting at 98,000. So at 97.5, we are going to make the first announcement, but we're very excited about that. Thank you all for joining us, Marty. Since we came back from Japan, we've gained 16,000 members since we left Japan.
They all better be watching this tonight.
Yes. Tune in right now.
Let's crash the internet right now.
There we go.
And for the prizes, hosts and VCN Hall of Famers are eligible.
Hosts and VCN Hall of Famers are eligible.
Some of the prizes are pretty impressive, so you might want to check it out.
Yes.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for the post.
Especially for the first one. You may or may not already be there, but that's neither here nor there.
Just don't put it in Facebook, because I don't even. I know Facebook is the thing for a lot of people, but is that where it's going to be?
It'll be everywhere.
Okay, good. I think Instagram is about the only thing I kind of still know how to do.
Well, keep an eye out there.
But we're very excited, obviously, to have you as part of our incredible lineup that we have coming with us for Boonta Eve, Texas, at Rebel Scum Con, at the Revel Bar and Grill, 3 minutes down the street from the convention hall, where we're going to be the Frisco Conference Center. Tickets are on sale right now. VIP is sold out. Hope to see all of you other people there, but we're going to meet and greets. We're going to have some sabak with Marty's friend Hyperspace Props will be back. They'll have some more at and credits, which I know Marty picked up. I don't know if you saw, they just announced that they have Ferrex credits.
I saw that. That's pretty cool.
I saw that post.
Which is very, very cool. Also, live band karaoke. So we'll be rocking out. And if you're going to be going to the Sackhoff show hosted by Katie Sackhoff, her show will end just as we start. So they did that purposely so people can go see the Sackhoff show and then come to Bunta directly after. So a lot of fun.
Only a few-minute walk down the street.
Yep.
I want to go to the Sackhoff show and this show. It's going to be fun.
No, it's great weekend, and nice reunion of the Pirates, if you will.
Indeed, yeah. I think there's going to be quite a handful of them there.
It would be fantastic. Well, we're about 9 minutes out right now. Please make sure you have your Disney Plus all queued up as we are going to be watching Rogue One through the lens of after just finishing up Andor, which is
yes. I have questions. I have things that I want to watch.
I put it on in the background the other day when I was working on like a graphic, so I wasn't completely paying attention, but I was doing a lot of listening. So I need to watch a little more intently this time, and then kind of see what I heard, how it plays into things. So there was one line that I misheard, but it would have been really cool. And when we get to it, I'll mention it. But it was I thought it would have been amazing, like foreshadowing or whatever, if it had actually been legit. But the line they actually said made more sense, so I just misheard it.
Do we know timeline-wise how far after the end of Andor this one picks up?
This is where he was going, right?
Yeah,
Seems like it could be.
Leaves, so it's an hour afterwards. So if you figure,
no kidding,
he's leaving to go talk to this guy about Galen Erso. So he leaves.
The guy that he meets in his opening scene in the alley.
Yeah. After the Jin intro, then
that's why it was like
that
so
is literally
cool
right after.
He put on that blue jacket. Like people were cheering, like, "Oh my God, he's putting on the Rogue One outfit."
And then they did his hair a little differently than they had in the rest of the seasons.
Right.
And
I think they gave him like the fake haircut to make it match up.
Maybe give him something to make him look a little younger. I don't know. But to make him match that character a little bit more, because this version of Diego that's above us or next to Spencer, he looks 10 years younger. So I'm sure they didn't do any de-aging, but they did kind of set him up in wardrobe and makeup in a way that would be very reminiscent of that. So,
but yeah, it's an hour difference between Andor season 2 and Rogue One, and then 10-minute difference between Rogue One and A New Hope.
Right.
That's amazing.
Which, if you're joining us next week, we're watching A New Hope. So,
let's just keep rolling tonight. You guys don't need to sleep.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, being on the West Coast affords us a little bit more leeway than those poor guys on the East Coast.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
but how did you handle the jet lag, Marty? Because you were like hopping everywhere in between.
Yeah, globe trotting.
I think if you do enough traveling frequently enough, you don't even have time to worry about it. I think when I got to Japan, it was fine because of the adrenaline and there was a lot of coffee flowing. When I got to London, I did relax into it, and I think it grabbed a hold of me. But fortunately, I didn't really have much to do except hang out. I was staying with a Los Angeles friend who's lived there for a few years, and she's got a dog, so it was very kind of like easy transition. And then Germany was a snap, and then back home. A little bit back home. I think it took me a couple days to kind of really settle out. But not bad. I like it. It's fun. I enjoyed traveling around like that.
Yeah. That was
definitely doing a lot busy. Of long legs. Those flights they get to me.
It was fascinating coming from Japan to Europe. I'd never in my life been on that side of the planet. And I was watching, how on the monitor you can track your flight, see the map.
Yep.
Fascinating to see where the plane did and did not go around like Mongolia, and then kind of took a dive south and then came back up around to Finland, like avoiding a few places.
Mm-hmm. Very deliberate path.
Yep. It was quite the zigzag.
Reminds me of a cruise ship I was on. They were trying to kill time, and so the ship did a lot of back and forth on the map. If you followed it, it wasn't just going from one location to another down the coast. It was
interesting.
Spending time out on the open water. It was funny, but a little different in a plane. So Not So was amazing. That was where I did get to see you, so that was fun talking to you there. And I got your amazing patch. That thing is like,
that is really cool.
Such a cool patch.
It's pretty snappy. Oh,
Yeah.
whoa, look at that. There it is. Spencer, did you go Velcro or non-Velcro?
This is the one you gave me, because I gave the guys theirs. That you gave me a stack of them when you mailed them to me.
Sent you some, didn't I?
Yeah, and I gave it to them.
Nice. Yeah, that was really well done. What's the his company's name? Norse
Legion. It's Kevin Lyles.
Yep. Kevin did the design, put in the order, and they came out great.
Yeah, I hadn't seen any with that kind of vinyl-y, or not vinyl, but like plastic, rubberized. Yeah.
Yeah, he asked early on. He's like, embroidered, or we could do like a vinyl thing, and it'll be this much more. And I was like, well, vinyl would be cool. As I told Spencer when we were at the at Celebration, I was like, I didn't even have a sense, because I'm on this side of it. Not like I didn't realize there was such a patch culture. I didn't realize it was like a, hello, I'm here with my patch. Now we will exchange patches, because now we are exchanging patches. And I was like befuddled when people would come up to me like, can I have that? And can you have that? I'm trying to sell these things and recoup my pennies.
Yes. I think I gave you one of these.
Indeed. Very cool. Yes. Thank you for that free patch. Did I try to sell you mine?
Yeah, $5. No,
give it
you actually gave me another one, so I have two.
Good.
Put that shit in my hand.
Yeah, there were some select VIP people who were handed patches.
I think you actually offered or gave me the option of Velcro or not.
Oh yeah.
I think I took a Velcro one.
Did I give you one of my Mythosaurs?
I'm sure you got one of those.
I just saw that today as I was going through some stuff.
Good.
Nice.
I'll make sure I'll make sure I bring it to you in Texas. So we'll see you in 2 months, which 2.5
That's
months.
coming up.
That's
Really coming up.
Not very long.
But that's going to be. I can't believe we're working on that, and as you know, because I'm sure you've heard the rumors, which we can't talk about what, because you spoke to somebody in Germany that's got a big mouth. You know that we're already playing 27, so things are moving.
Who? I don't know anything about anything. What?
Way to go, Dominic.
Rumblings.
Way to go, Dom. Dominic, who I heard everybody loved because he stole Brian Wheeler's scooter and decided to go driving around on a Segway around the convention hall. So,
Kids playing.
Yep. Hi, Skip.
It's not like we haven't, had people stealing a 6-volt like land speeder and driving up and down, in California.
Yes.
On Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard and the land speeder.
These things happen, huh?
Yeah, the land speeder on the Walk of Fame was pretty interesting to witness.
Get some footage of that.
Yeah,
it's Misty Rosa's driving this land speeder down.
She fits in it pretty well. Yeah,
very nice.
She looked very much at home driving that thing.
Did you see her at the press event thing for what's the Harrison Ford TV show Shrinking?
Yeah, she was
got to hang out with Harrison.
And all the other actors, main actors.
True, I guess there are other actors in that show.
But the Harrison one was that was the standout for sure.
Yep, very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
all right, we're getting close.
Time, so please make sure you have Disney Plus all queued up, and we'll be starting in about a minute. But very excited.
Yes. So,
as I mentioned before, I don't know if I'm going to see the helmet. I don't know when that shows up in their order of things. The helmet roll versus the Lucasfilm.
Well,
but let me know when you see the first planet. There's that music hit, that first music hit.
Yes,
clue that one in for me, and I'll make sure I'm matched up.
I was noticing that again, how they had done a variation of the normal intro, which I thought was interesting too. If you played through the final episode of Andor, the music cues changed towards the end of the credits.
Love that.
And so that I think really plays into this episode. Like that was the Star Wars music that you normally get leading into this movie. So it's time.
If I can ever get a hold of Tony Gilroy and ask him questions, I want to see if he's a fan of Deadwood, because they also had different end credit music all the time and gave all their characters really beautiful monologues to kind of get into their heads. I think there's a lot of odd similarities between the styles of those two shows.
Oh, wow. All right.
Excellent.
Well, it's time to start. I'm going to hit the countdown. And when it gets to 0, go ahead and hit play on whatever you're watching on. And here we go. So Lucasfilm logo.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago in a galaxy far away.
So far, so good.
And one.
All right. I think we're all locked in.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, I got new earbuds, and that was loud, dude. Like, holy crap.
Sorry.
Oh, well.
I
love this.
The audience is now deaf.
That's the new slogan for THX.
Yes.
As I recall, this is a really beautiful film. Like, the effects work is superb.
That was one of the things that made it stand out as everybody's favorite Star Wars movie at the time.
Yep.
Still. It's really, these shots are amazing. My only problem is the fact that they did all this marketing with this amazing scene that's below us in the overlay, with the stormtroopers knee-high in crystal blue water, and they couldn't leave that in the movie. They changed the ending to not have that as a thing. So ultimately, all the action took place in the tower versus ending on the beach, because it was all the scenes in the trailer where Jin's running with the plans in her hand down the beach and getting shot at, and there's a bunch of rebel fighting and stuff going on, and then obviously the shots of the stormtroopers waiting around. There's
Bald.
Yep. So he was bald and then grew hair, and you'd think it'd be the other way around, right?
Yeah. This was one of the memes that's lately. It's like, why on earth did they park like a mile and a half away from the house?
Have a nice long stroll. It's not like they didn't know they were there.
Ominous.
It's so you could have those Death Troopers looking really cool for a while.
Oh, yeah. Those Death Troopers caught my attention.
Oh, it's so good. And tall, skinny dudes. I want to be in one of those.
Yeah, there you go. They're a little tall for a stormtrooper. But yeah, they're definitely, long and lean versus more
such a good shot. Love how that looks. And they're electro squawks. They're not even saying any recognizable words.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Intimidating.
Yeah. Like they're almost like they're droids, but just communicating differently. I love this location too. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they had replicated parts of it or anything on it as an actual stage set, or if it was all just on location.
Looks very Iceland. Do we know where they shot that?
Yeah, I think so. It's got that volcanic thing going on. I have issues with my audio, so I can't hear.
Mads, that tragically not good-looking dude.
It's all the good parts.
Yes, the Google says it was in something that I cannot pronounce in South Iceland.
Something you cannot pronounce.
Yeah, one of those many vowel or many consonant type words.
Accents and consonants galore.
In an interesting order that you wouldn't normally think. Well, at least English speakers wouldn't.
I love how many faces this guy can pull in seconds.
One thing that's interesting about Krennic is how hardcore he was in Andor, especially the last episode and a couple episodes with Dedra, and then how it all turns and is on him ultimately in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was the one
Yeah,
in
it seems
control.
like when he's the bossy boss, he's quite the badass. But yeah,
But he gets put in
he
his place a few
snibbles
times.
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
He, as an actor, and Denise is attributed, a lot of the joy of their scenes to him doing weird stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's such a treat. It's such a treat when an actor is like so free and so open that they'll just try like really strange things. And I think Ben is probably one of those guys who's always doing something weird.
Mm.
Yeah, and again, just rocks the pompous cape. Just like, what are you doing?
It's very
I'm
flowy.
just rolling up on you. I'm wearing a cape. It's part of the uniform. It's optional, but I like it.
It's only a few things you want to do as an actor, and probably wearing a cape is one.
Yes. Semantics. As hostages, heroes of the empire.
What do you do? Huh. Yes. Don't do anything stupid. Well, it's too late for that.
Oh.
Booyah.
Got a piece of him, but not enough.
Why does everybody else die when they take a shot to the shoulder, but not Krennic?
No, he does not. It's the cape. It's
yeah, the cape. That's what happened. That's why he wears that cape.
Strong material.
The cape is Kevlar. It's better armor than the stormtroopers wear.
Exactly. Ricocheted off the cape. Now go hide in the hole.
Yeah, the pantheon of all things Star Wars, like, what exactly is stormtrooper armor made out of? Like marshmallow?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like
cardboard.
Just there to.
It's probably very similar to actual cosplay stormtrooper armor, which is vacuum formed plastic, and that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like that it's, as with most things, when they get corporatized and too large, the quality does degrade a bit.
Well, that's true. They do say, is this I don't know if it's a scene from Rebels or if it's from Bad Batch, where they're talking about how Gen 1 armor was so much better, like the Gen 1 clone armor.
The actual clone armor. Yeah.
Right. Okay. They addressed it. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
They cost a lot of money. They had to protect those clones. They're expensive. When you have somebody join up under their own will, they're more expendable. Oh, here we go. You think it was blasters, Troy? Military grade versus civilian grade?
Oh, well, it could be that.
Could be that too. Less powerful pew-pews.
Yeah, that could be like, she's like shooting a little, what's this, like a 32 or 22 caliber blaster or whatever.
Yep.
And see, you hear a little bit of notes of the New Hope, few notes of the actual Star Wars, but then it's different.
Yeah, it's done very differently. Where are we at? 8 minutes in.
Everybody in this movie is just so sweaty.
Everywhere's humid.
What's that? I mean, look at that guy. He's
right. Yeah. Everybody's so sweaty, except except Krennic. The ISB uniform is just so crisp and white. But it was a little different in Andor, as I felt that in the scenes, and it may have just been lighting. The scenes with Dedra his was a little more off-white, and hers was like white.
It was a pretty casual stormtrooper walk by there.
So now, one thing I appreciated a lot about the second season of Andor is that they included more things like the random alien-looking alien, like this guy, person, whatever, on the on the bunk across from Jin. I felt the first season was lacking.
Aliens in this than in at least in season 1 of Andor. The season 2 was better, but
I think I'm going to change my last name to Catherine now.
There you go.
From Caffrey to Caffrine. What do you think, Marty?
Nice. Easy adjustment. We'll all get on board.
There we go. It's funny almost hearing your last name every time they talk about this location.
It's funny.
So this is literally an hour after he walked out of Yavin.
So they can't be very far away either.
According to Spencer,
an hour to get there.
Spencer mentioned hyperspace hop, and there he is.
Spencer mentioned that he was having some stormy issues, so he might have some.
Oh, I didn't feel it needed explanation. Everyone in the chat just assumed his internet crapped out again because that's the way that goes.
Partially why he's in the position he's in StreamYard is just in case.
Yeah, just in case he goes, we're just moving on.
Don't want the rest of everybody moving around because that happens sometimes. Anywho.
With Luthen and Lonnie and with our boy here, I think the lesson is don't freak out. Just don't freak out. Even if you're freaking out, hold it together because your own boy is going to probably take you down because nobody likes someone who's freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. What's all
Everything's
this?
Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine.
He gone.
See?
My gloves.
Stress cases don't make it out alive.
Oh, we heart Tony Hearts.
This is amazing.
Jeddah.
It'll be okay. I remember when I saw this the first time, and that was like, what? Is he a good guy? Really?
Right.
It's definitely a bit ambiguous.
Definitely appreciate that about the whole series is that the shades of gray that they can play in.
For
and
sure.
Tubes,
I mean,
come on,
that's
the design.
level of movies of the last 10 years since this has been on. It's the anti-hero, and probably a little bit before this too, as well.
Yeah,
but some of the stuff like Two Tubes and other characters is like
some really good design.
Next level. Yeah, and again, another amazing location.
Yeah, I gotta say, as having done creature suit work for so many years in the States, definitely would like to say hi to Neil Scanlon sometime. He's doing top level work over there.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Two Tubes is that's just cool.
Yeah, and there's
Wobani, where you can off-road your 8-wheeler. 10-wheeler?
From a certain point of view, Troy. From a certain point of view.
I love this landscape with I don't know if that's like a statue that was fallen or it was carved into the rock on its side. But that Jedi thing is amazing. Yeah, 10-wheeler, huh?
Just inadvertently hit pause on my thing.
Okay.
Oh, now you got it.
That's right.
We got Jin in the little transport. We're about to get more fun introductions to new characters.
Door explode yet?
Not quite.
No,
the vehicle just stopped, so the door explosion should be coming up very shortly.
Oh,
say when?
God.
Yeah.
There it is. And now the troopers getting blasted on. Here they come.
Is this one of the first instances where they break the no wheels rule in Star Wars?
That was some pretty rolly wheels for sure.
Well, I know there's been stuff like that since
did it
then.
In Mando,
yeah, exactly.
But was this the earliest?
That's a good question. I'm wondering if we saw something with wheels in like Clone Wars, but I'm not sure. Rebel Alliance headquarters. Now, if you were watching the episode of Andor prior to this, you're very quickly back to the
right back where we were.
the Yavin. And there he is again. I do appreciate them bringing back so many characters.
Yep, that's pretty cool. And lovely for the actors to be invited back again.
Definitely. Well, that was the whole thing with, I always forget her name, the young lady that played Mon Mothma in this. And then was...
Genevieve.
Yeah, Genevieve, yes. Oh, that was the other thing I was thinking of. There she is.
Yeah.
You were talking about if you ever got to talk to Tony. Excuse me. Me and a couple of friends will be hitting the Paley Fest. They're doing an event at the Writers Guild in Beverly Hills at the end of the month.
Yeah,
and
I was hoping to hit that.
Yeah, so Tony and Diego and Genevieve probably, I think, is she listed. Oh, the Ariona, I forget her, the one that plays Bix. She's amazing too.
Bix.
She'll be there too.
Memorial Day weekend?
It's next weekend, not this weekend.
Yep, it overlaps with Monster Palooza.
Oh, well, if you're going to be down here for Monster Palooza,
indeed,
then that's a good one to do it. So me and one of our mods, Mike, and members of the group, Kareen and Jeremy, will be there.
Is it Saturday or Sunday?
I believe it's Friday.
Oh, really? If it's nighttime Friday?
Yeah, so I think it's like 7 o'clock.
Tickets already up?
I know that they have been purchased for our tickets, so they're available. And then it's tiered, and if you're a Paley member, the price is different or whatever. So they used to have an actual center in Beverly Hills that I went to a few things at. But now they are like, it seems like they're based out of New York now, but I don't know. Because I get their newsletter, so they're always doing events in New York, and fewer here in Southern California, except for the Paley Fest, which is massive, and they do every year at Dolby Theater.
I will look in and see if there are any tickets left. I'd like to.
I would imagine there is. So yeah, definitely, it's going to be a fun panel plus screening. I think they'll show us a few episodes.
Nice.
I went to a couple of those for the first season of Andor, which the interesting one was the second one. We came in to watch the Narkina 5 arc, or at least a couple of I don't know if it was all 3 or 2 episodes or whatever the main arc was. Oh, there's Jimmy.
Yeah, all your Easter eggs and things happening in here.
Yeah, and her talking about Bothans. Well, talking to the Bothans actually. But anyways, there was a panel that Tony was supposed to be at for the first season, and literally it was the night before the strike was supposed to start for the writers strike, and so he skipped the panel and was continuing to write. Was the story we got, which I fully believe.
Yeah,
that episode, the season was amazing. So trying to get some extra writing time in, I can see where it went.
I love K2SO.
Yeah, you got a lot of his kind of personality in the last couple of episodes, which was great.
I wanted to see more of him in Andor. I heard there was a lot more of him originally scheduled. I don't know if they even shot it
or written.
But scripted at least in Andor. That it didn't happen because they kept it tight. They kept
Tricky to fit it all in.
Got what you needed to get, and you didn't get more of it.
I wonder how it would have been different had they actually been able to. I mean, I think there was originally talk of it being 5 seasons leading up to this, and have a season. A year per season.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like the way that they went with the one full season, which took place over a matter of time, and then sort of a finite amount of days for each year, representing each year leading up to that, or leading up to this.
Interesting structure. It was. I've never seen like that. 1 year passage of time thing. That was tricky to fit everything in, but kind of a fun structure to play with, I would imagine.
So if they extended each of those 3 episode arcs out into 12 or something, what more would we have gotten? Would it have been like the slow burn that everybody was talking about in the first season?
Right. Hey, not that I'm going to eat while we do this, but if I'm over here, can you see?
No, you're off.
Are you finishing?
Okay, cool. Good. Nothing happened. Good. We saw.
I don't know. Here we are.
We have no idea why you're chewing.
Flying in space. That's why I was eating gum earlier, to throw you off the trail.
There you go. Look suspicious.
It's a fine looking spaceship.
And such a classic location. Really ties this into the original trilogy. I thought it was interesting that John Knowles had this idea and then, pitched it, and
it was his idea.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He was the one who pitched it, I think, originally. And then the story had kind of already existed, though, in the Dark Forces video game from '95. So according to that game, Kyle Katarn stole the Death Star plans and delivered them to the rebellion. And then so they made this, which, maybe they should have put Kyle Katarn in. I don't know.
The only trick I'm seeing now is Saw's got no feet.
Right.
Or no foot. Well, I couldn't tell if it was one or two.
Right. Yeah, he's got a weird shoe and a metal foot.
Oh, he's been busy the last few days.
What are we breathing? Are we breathing drugs or are we breathing air? We don't know. And why do pilots wear World War I aviation goggles? They're flying freaking spaceships.
He might need to weld something really quickly.
So there you go. A little bit of eye protection. Yeah, there goes the
huff.
The huffer. Sniffing glue. You'll lose your foot. It's like the diabetes. Forrest Whitaker's amazing.
Paul Guerrero, played by Wilford.
I think on the whole in season 1, his scenes with Stellan were probably my favorite scenes. Watching like 2 actors at a similar caliber going at it.
Yeah, Stellan was amazing. Everybody was amazing, but he was next level. Look at this. So when we saw it at the end of the last episode, it was in a very similar situation, but the actual dish was nowhere to be seen.
Right, and now it's that step further.
Yeah, so the dish is coming into place.
They're distracted by CGI.
At least like 4/5 real and 1/5 CGI. You think Leia was done better? Spoiler alert: she's at the end.
I think maybe not. I think she looked maybe because it was too well lit and they were really banking on that one shot.
Yeah,
I didn't get much emotion from that face. I like that he's in the shadows. There's some glint in the eyes.
Right.
Good vocal actor, but I mean, this is also putting us into the AI discussion realm.
Right.
Let's talk about the voices. They were talking about James Earl Jones recently, kind of giving over his voice, or his family or trust gave over his voice to the games. I'll be honest with you. AI is so amazing in how accurately it can make the right sounds. It's never going to have a soul. I would rather have a human who has a soul speaking nearly the same as another actor than I would having something sound exactly like the actor but be dead.
Right.
Well, I mean, they've done it before, and to success, and we love the new actors. You know, you get the voice actors who portrayed beloved characters in the Clone Wars, right?
Yep, perfect.
You know, we
Little
get
Sam Witwer.
Matt Lanter and James Arnold Taylor portraying beloved characters, and they started off with voice match, and then got to make it their own, and so now it's beloved both ways.
And that is good. It allows it to grow.
Yeah.
You don't get CG'd or AI'd into a corner.
Yeah, because I think the thing with James Earl Jones was in the news again, or is in the news again, because there was some clause about like he allowed it for a video game, but somebody else said no, you can't use it for the video game, and who owns what and where.
It was like the union or something was the one making a fuss about it.
Yeah.
Versus the, because he had already done, like, signed over his voice archive or whatever that they could use.
It's a mess.
For
that whole thing
purposes.
Right now, how protections are or are not in place for actors upon their demise. It's a mess.
Well, and that was part of the whole strike, right? Is that they just wanted to be able to have people come in at a day rate, scan them, and then use them forever.
Oh, it's horrendous. I mean, they would love that. Of course, producers would love that. And there are so many now variations of that, like for use in certain situations, or do they get your entire character? And we may have talked about this before, but like, I know that when I'm in Vane's makeup, that's not my character. That's their character. I'm playing their character. It's their face. That's fine. It's my performance, though. Like, I'm driving the thing. I don't want a computer to try to pretend like it's doing what I was doing. And I don't even want to be paid for the computer to approximate my performance.
Yeah. Well, and this has been an issue. This is a bigger issue than the technology issue as well, because Carrie Fisher always said when she was making jokes or doing stand-up monologues or whatever, that I have, every time I look in the mirror, I have to give George a couple of bucks because he owns the rights to her likeness.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, she was good at making light of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's been that way since the 80s.
And the trickiest thing now, of course, also with AI, that so many influencers or every kid now wants to be some form of famous, and if they don't have any credits, they're going to sign over their everything, right? Because they just want the job.
Way in, right?
And they're young enough; they don't understand the implications of that.
Yeah, what's fun? It's not funny. It's interesting how it's almost sort of like full circle in terms of understanding what you're getting into and how you should be compensated. Because, like, considering like shows like maybe like Gilligan's Island, where they were paid, day players or whatever, and then they don't get anything from the billions and billions of reruns that have happened since then, kind of thing, where people started to wise up after that and then be like, okay, I need those residuals. If you're going to make money off of it, I should too, kind of thing. And now it's sort of coming back to where it's almost like reneging those protections.
Oh, even before AI, I've seen.
This is so creepy.
As my job responsibilities and visibility has increased, I've also seen a decrease in residuals.
Oh, right.
Oh, over the past 10, 15 years. 100%.
Probably has a lot to do with the platforms and stuff as well, though, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, back when streaming was called new media, and they were like seeing how it would go, and all the assurances of the contracts were like, oh, it's just going to be so much better. Nope. Better for some people, but not the performers.
Yeah. So that scene with the boar gullet has always freaked me out a little bit, and then more tentacle stuff going on here in the marketplace.
Creepy biz.
Oh, and this is amazing. This callback.
Yep, they were on their way to go do something.
And it's Ponda Baba in this case. It is like the level-headed one.
Oh, there it is. He said it. Rebellions are built on hope.
I think you might be a little bit ahead of us.
I might be a little bit ahead of you. Like, they're in the marketplace, and he just said rebellions are built on hope.
Where are we at 29? Oh, yeah. I think I'm on. Maybe I just didn't hear it.
At 29:15. I'm on time with the timer.
28.
Yeah,
4.
I'm a little behind.
I've got stormtroopers now throwing people up against walls.
I think I just saw Chirrut.
No, I just heard him the first time right now. I'm a few seconds behind. I had tried to reload mine to get the sound to work, which worked actually, so I was glad I did it. She's so amazed.
Chirrut.
Yeah.
Love those characters.
Yeah, they're great.
See, there, we get a Star Wars story. Like, here's the next one, Disney. Where were these guys in the 5 years before Rogue One?
Do they have any other treatments, comic or any other appearances that we know of?
I don't know of them, but I don't know that it doesn't exist. There might have been like a lot of times there's like a one shot somewhere that you just never hear of that tells the story.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're mentioned here or there in some sort of book or something. Uh-oh. Time to get blowing.
This town is ready to blow, man. This is a great build-up. I like his parka, and I didn't realize for quite a long time until someone said it on the internet that he's actually got Nemec's Manifesto book form on his jacket.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay, apparently there is a manga adaptation of a Star Wars novel, Guardians of the Wills, which features Chirrut Imwe as the main character.
I'm down with that. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah.
All right, something just exploded.
Yeah, there's a lot of craziness in this battle right here.
And it looks really good. It's really a lot of practical, like, debris and sparks and it's not like G.I. Joe, blue lasers and red lasers. It's really gritty.
Right. Ooh.
And chaotic. They don't
that trooper's wiener off.
There's a lot of stuff happening in the background. They're not like featuring one specific thing all the time.
It's very layered.
Yeah.
Kaiba. I love that big Wampa-looking guy with the backpack. Oh, and here comes the recognizable stuff. Bring in the chicken walker.
You got a chicken walker? I think I'm falling behind here. I'm going to zip forward a little bit.
I might have. I don't know if I'm exactly lined up or not. Yeah,
I'm just getting the chicken walker right now.
I'm a few seconds ahead.
First we're behind, now we're ahead.
Gotta love her taking him out with the baton.
Well, yeah, there's the other thing too. It's like, here, how bad is the stinking? Oh,
that was funny too with the.
How bad is the armor that they're taking out stormtroopers with a stick?
Did K just get
his?
K just walked in after the other trooper that got blasted in the shoulder.
Well, he got it more in the chest. Well, he's a droid, so he doesn't have a heart, but yeah.
Maybe he does. Maybe that's where they put the central, like, fluid oil pump.
It's interesting to see him after seeing him come in to kind of rescue them in Andor. When he did that kick-ass hallway thing in prison.
I love that he used what's his name, the little rebel guy or the ISB guy, like as a
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Not many things are would affect him, but he just decided to use him as a human shield anyway.
Right, like he should have been able to take all their blaster bolts, right, for the most part, but make it extra creepy.
Oh, here it comes.
Don't mess with the blind guy with a stick.
I'd love to see some of the concept art for this.
Yeah, I'll bet it's
some
glorious.
Some of those helmets and stuff we've seen on these other characters are like really trippy looking. Oh, this pretty badass for a blind guy.
Oh yeah. Oh, is your foot all right? Well, see, and now this guy can take enough blasts from the thing to where it's all plot armor. It convenient.
I did like there. It looked like he was breaking some of that armor with his stick, and then his backup comes in.
Yeah, they did add in like armor pieces.
Yeah, looking like it was shattering.
These guys became the zombie troopers, right?
There you go. This whole battalion.
Oof.
And Chirrut's using a trooper as a seat.
Oh yeah, that was a good part. Boba Fett just going ham on them with the gaffies.
Oh yeah, that was kind of what made me think of that, or that reminded me of that. Although he went way hardcore. So, if that guy's Two Tubes, who's the guy behind him?
Yeah, this is a guy that looks exactly like Two Tubes.
Two Tubes as well.
Two Tubes too.
There
City Two Tubes and Country Two Tubes.
There you go.
One's Two Tubes Smith, and the other one is Two Tubes Jones. I love more of the callbacks with like that Death Star droid. The silver bug.
Dimway, the Guardians of the Wilms manga is available on Amazon for $14.99.
Oh, there you go.
Really?
Yes. Not that I'm over here down the rabbit hole now. But,
as per usual.
Yes.
Does anything happen to our stream if I open a tab and look around?
I don't think so.
Probably not, because that's what I'm doing over there.
Yeah. And I have another browser open playing the time
There's
code.
that. Amazon.
Yeah, as long as you don't use something that's trying to take over your camera, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. I love this practical version of the Jarek table. It's so funny.
Well, and then every you have to have a cantina scene. Theirs happens to be not in a cantina. It's just like the guards outside of their prison cell.
It's their little hangout spot. See, when I saw this movie having cosplayed somewhat, I'm like, okay, now I could be that guy that looks pissed off standing at the light table. Like, I could just do a random rebel, and there's a million to choose from.
It's a good face.
I think I'd heard that Warwick played the little guy that was
the badass with the big gun.
Yeah, that was shooting up part of in one of those earlier scenes. He's definitely got that kind of Han Solo, like, not really sure of the Force kind of thing, which makes him more endearing, I think. That sort of true rebel.
Ooh. Dropping some philosophy on old Cassian.
Mm.
Oh, there it is.
So is the
Oh, I'm sure that's coming. That hyperspace props will have that before it's very long.
yeah, that one looked like it was a fun game too. It had a couple different elements to it. Had like cards and credits and stuff going on. So how long has it been since they've seen each other? Like 15 years or something? 10 years?
Depends on how old you place Jen in this. I'm sure at some point it gives her a date of birth, but
right.
I mean, she says she was dumped at 16. Is she like in her?
So she mid-20s or early 30s?
I would think more 20s, but maybe not.
13 years, maybe. Yeah, somebody knows that. Chantel's saying something about 15 years. So that would put her at early 30s.
Well, the internet, of course. Yeah, there's the internet. Let's see. Who is it reliable? Is it on Wikipedia? Maybe.
I would imagine it is.
It's
been 10 years since, or almost 10 years since this movie came out.
I think they're saying that Jen Erso is 21 in this movie. So,
so it's like
5 years?
Actor aged. Always got to play younger.
Yeah, okay, that would make sense. Is like she was born in 21 BBY.
Oh, now, so I hate to expose myself here, but BBY stands for what now?
Before the Battle of Yavin.
Thank you. I knew it was significant. I just kept not looking.
And then there's ABY, obviously, after the Battle of Yavin.
Yes.
So that's that. Everything pivots on A New Hope.
And Yavin is.
Is that a type of?
Yavin
it's a type of lunch meat. Is that what that is? This is an amazing reveal of the Death Star here around the planet too.
Yeah,
I love the sort of the, I don't know what you call that, the eclipsing or whatever it's doing with the light on it.
Pretty, very pretty.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was cool that they did go back to the same practical location for Yavin and Andor. They could have just shot that in the volume, but no.
Well, they didn't have it yet. Oh, the or Andor, you mean?
For Andor.
Yeah. I was thinking of this. Yeah, it's noticeable though that they didn't, which is nice.
Ooh, yep.
Here we go. Krennic. Easy, Krennic. Your ambition is showing.
Yeah, don't choke on your aspirations. Spoiler alert. This is funny in the jail cell. I'm the pilot. I'm Bodhi. I'm the pilot. One of the best cosplays at Star Wars Celebration in 2019 in Chicago was Bodhi and Bor Gullet walking around together. That was classic.
Was he backpacking some tentacles?
It was like a guy that looked kind of like Bodhi, dressed as Bodhi, and then I think it was his girlfriend or a lady friend of his dressed as some sort of boar gullet thing, and just like, kept putting her hands all over him, kind of thing, to replicate that scene. Yeah, it was fun to see, though. People get very creative. Oh, and here comes the classic Death Star trooper.
Press all the buttons.
And of course, they're drawing this out even more than they did the first time you saw it happen in the original Star Wars.
They just keep cutting.
Yeah, they're cutting back and forth, and well, actually, they did it faster. I think when they blew up Alderaan, it's when they went to go fire again, is when they did it like super slow. But this is very much like that. I love that trooper. I wonder who came. I wonder if that's like based off of a McQuarrie sketch, or if that's something they did based on necessity with the helmet.
Those clam helmets. That's a cool look. I've never seen that one at a cosplay.
I think I have seen some troopers like that, but it's got to be much more difficult to get right. And as a cosplay, I don't think I've seen a lot of, if any, is Galen or so. I've seen tons of Jin, and I've seen a handful of Saws.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a Galen either.
I was considering building Saw armor for my buddy, and I never did it because I was lazy.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, it is a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, like how do you do that foot?
Well, that take one for the team. Chop that thing.
Yeah, there you go. Tie your leg up behind you. Get a peg leg.
Hope you don't cramp while you're puffing around the floor.
There you go.
Jin.
It's interesting, this sort of parallel from the last few episodes of Andor with the someone getting a message and then not being able to actually show the message to anybody. Just having to relay the message.
Yeah, nobody's outside and nobody notices there's an eclipse over the...
Yeah, and there's the booyah.
Guys, make a window in your next stronghold.
Oh boy.
Well, he does have that one broken out window. Oh.
Uh-oh. Power's out.
Yep. It's like Spencer's. Yeah. That's pretty freaky nuclear explosion stuff.
Ooh.
It's a lot to take in, Jin.
Yeah, Jin has to deal with
shot.
Getting that message and then getting the hell out of Dodge. Imagine if Cassian couldn't break himself out of that cell.
Right, yeah. Nope. And, well...
Credits.
The movie just be an hour and a half shorter than it is. It's coming. Anyway.
Somebody else is going to have to go get those plans.
Yes.
Terrifying.
He really wants to get the pilot. Love how he aims at him at first and then he's like, oh, no, the lock.
Let's do something else. Yeah, exactly. Directed by George Lucas, except not George Lucas.
Yeah.
And yes, I've met Spencer Wilding, and he's big. It's a big dude.
Yeah, he was at when I went to the screening, I thought was just a regular screening of Godzilla -1, and it turned out to be the premiere because that was like right at the end of the strike. And Spencer was there with Gigi and a handful of other people, and I ran into Dave because he's a huge Godzilla fan.
Because now that you have
in Germany, I got to see him again
on a first name basis.
What's that? Being on a first name basis with Dave? Filoni.
Oh, Mr. Filoni, is it?
Yeah, he was at the Godzilla -1 premiere, so I had to make sure I got a photo with him and told him about my friend who cosplays as Dave Filoni right there.
That's great.
I'm
Great
that
idea.
guy.
Do you have the new hat? You know, he's got the new hat.
I know he's got the new hat. I've been studying and trying to find the new hat is
Got the custom
ladder
job.
on top. Yeah, I realized how much of a younger Dave Filoni that I am cosplaying now. I need a
the
much
era is worth doing it.
thinner, whiter beard and the flat topped hat.
Well, you're gonna age into it, so it's all good.
Yes. Well, we'll get there. I'm researching that hat.
This is some freaky destruction going on.
Beautiful effects work. Horrific.
Mm-hmm.
Peace out.
Chantel.
It is Indiana Jones-ish.
It's similar, but it's like I've seen him
space
really
Indiana
wearing
Jones.
more like an Indiana Jones fedora. But the one he was wearing at Celebration is it's not a fedora. It's a flat top.
With flat top and
it's not really a pinch at all. But the brim kind of goes down in front and in back. It doesn't lift on the sides like the old hat that I wear.
Yeah, it was a different style. I love how Cassian's just like, do it.
We go.
Get her done. Get
Punch
the hell
it
out. Yep. It's amazing that
flying through hyperspace ain't like dusting crops, boy. Shoot. But we out.
Wasn't this like half power or some kind of low power version of the blast?
Like
that was a test.
Level 1.
Blow a giant hole in the planet. This is like amazing kudos, and then
Krennic walks out the door and goes, woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. What if Tarkin went doink, put his finger on his head? Like, I just saw somebody do that.
Oh no. A rat in the
Uh-oh.
Take that, Krennic.
It's after all the shit he gave, and but to Dedra specifically, it's like see him get slapped down. I love the retro futuristic stuff. It's so amazing. They did a really good job replicating it in Rise of the Resistance as well. It's fun to walk through that ride and see all these types of sets and things.
Exactly, Troy. It's mine now because I'm Tarkin. I outrank you.
Yep, he's got the ear of the Emperor. Doesn't have to go through somebody to get there. I'm the pilot. I'm Bodhi.
Yes, Bodhi. Yes, we know. You're the pilot.
That was one of the things that I think I got a little tired of was how much he said that originally.
I'm the pilot. Yeah,
I'm Bodie. I'm the pilot. I'm Bodie. I'm the pilot.
The pilot.
It's named after me.
I am the Death Star. That's my real name.
It's got a big button. You got to press it. Yeah, this. He just did this. Somebody was saying how he had just done the same thing, basically. Brought a message that, he didn't have any, like, physical version of, and people are like, bullshit. And now he's doing the same thing to her.
Yes, I'm looking in my messenger right now, Chantel. I don't think, like, in person looking at the hat, I don't think it was leather. I'm not sure. We're looking at Outback House.
Yeah, they're doing research in the background.
We're watching a movie here, mister.
Well, but the question is, too, is the new hat that he's wearing, is it the hat that he wears when he's Trapper Wolf, when he shows up in
I think it's closer to that.
Mando there. It's similar, but I'm not sure if it's the same.
Mm-hmm. Did he talk about stealing the hat from the set? Or am I imagining that?
I do not know. I do not recall.
Look at that. Filoni-esque perk.
Oh, look at that.
Yes.
What do you got there?
Oh, yeah, look. Some of those popcorn buckets that they have on the West Coast.
And I can fire it. Let's do it. Where's the button? There it is.
Does it make the...
Oh, I just turned it off. How does it go? It's supposed to do the little... the lights are supposed to go off, and then it's supposed to
Around the
make
dome.
noise. There it goes. It's making the noise. There it goes.
You're warming up. Oh, geez.
You can hear it getting a little louder.
This is the way.
This is the best popcorn bucket ever. And it also might hold popcorn if you wanted to put it in there.
Well, yeah, so many of the popcorn buckets, not so much on the popcorn.
Yeah. I love this whole, like, sort of C-3PO-esque callback to the odds and percentages and likelihoods of failure.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I don't want to see Cassian's ship get messed up.
Oh.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Too late.
It'd be hard to buff that out.
Well, it depends. That last one, when he flew the TIE fighter or whatever.
He was beating the crap out of that.
Yeah, it's flying through doors and stuff. He was getting shot up by the other guys. There was a lot going on there. That was a great way to start that season, though. And watching that in Japan was amazing. You guys got to do it in the big room, but I was in one of the overflow rooms. But it was still like the crowd was so into it. Watching that first episode.
It was fun. I was happy to be kind of down front for the talking, but for watching it, the aspect.
Oh, it's kind of a weird angle.
Oh, yeah. It was like making me sick.
Yeah, we were on the side, so it was an odd angle too, but it still was great to see it. That's how you said it. So his whole demeanor is funny. And Cassian trying not to allude to this whole thing. Like, I'm gonna go kill your dad real quick. I'll be right back.
His rifle was in the sniper configuration. Spoilers.
20 yen. Yep.
Yeah, the Tauntaun bucket looks cool. You gotten that one yet, Jeff?
They had a bunch of them when I was there on Sunday, but I haven't picked one up yet. And the Clone Trooper one's cool, but I have the other Clone Trooper one, which is like a not Clone Trooper. It's I think it's
the First Order Trooper.
First Order Trooper. But that one kind of makes more sense because it's the way it hangs is upside down, like it's a beat up old helmet, and then the bottom opens up.
Mm-hmm.
Popcorn bucket?
Yeah, more popcorn buckets.
Dump popcorn all over your crotch.
Yeah, well, it's got like a strap on it. This one does too, so you can wear it. It's like almost like a
popcorn bucket. I love it.
Plastic purse.
Wear your popcorn bucket. Everybody wears. It's popcorn on the go.
Pretty smart. Hands free for the other stuff.
Yeah, and then if you're like the cool people in Japan, you get those little tongs, and you eat your popcorn with the little Mickey hand tongs.
Mickey hands.
You didn't see that?
I missed out on that.
So in the
do you really want to get like garlic shrimp on your fingers? Because
I do not.
Yes,
beef flavored popcorn.
Yes.
They had some interesting flavors, but there was one of the things that they sold was a little tiny pair of like tongs with Mickey hands that are designed to eat things like popcorn with.
Brilliant.
And so you'd see a lot of people walking around the parks eating their popcorn with these little tongs. And I got a pair, of course. I haven't used them yet, though. I'm the old-fashioned with my fingers. But I liked them because they were kind of cute, funny little tongs with little Mickey hands.
Good timing.
This is crazy, this whole scene. Climbing up the thing.
I always like it when they do the little scenes through the digital binoculars. You're like, oh, let's put in all the little.
And they add the deterioration. Make it look 70s style.
Yeah. I'm looking. I didn't say what I was going to do after I was going to
Cassian's very matter of fact.
Look, and then we're going to shoot.
Krennic's definitely still a little bit butthurt about losing the Death Star.
Well, that's why he's like he's like stoked to do this part.
Yep.
Like this is a little revenge-ish. I don't know, not revenge, but a way to take some of that frustration out.
Exactly. A little kick in the cat action.
You should shoot Krennic.
Say crispy and white in the rain.
It's interesting how Cassian was having a bead on Dedra in the Gorman Plaza, and now he's got a bead on Galen right next to Krennic, where he could just shoot Krennic.
Yeah, exactly. Krennic is like somehow waterproof, or like his fancy pants. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't seem as wet as the rest of them. He says fire.
He's very practical. He's got kind of that raincoat cape.
Yeah.
Plasticized.
It's probably the proper outfit for this particular planet. Maybe that's why he was dressed this way the whole time, just because he knew he was coming here.
Well,
the fact that he's
coming from here, was he coming from here? Had he been here before he went there?
No,
and then went back.
I don't. Maybe, who knows? I don't think so. Though. But it's interesting how he actually started saying fire, and you'd think that the troopers would literally start when he was saying fire.
Yeah, imagine there's not a lot of opportunity for most of those clones to actually off someone, and they might be a little enthusiastic about those.
A little ready to go. Yep. And see, they were ready then.
Boom.
Ooh.
Nope.
Oh no. Those binoculars are way better than the sight on his gun.
Slap.
She can climb fast in the rain. That was a long way. Uh-oh. Coming in on a bombing run.
Uh-oh. And he's just trying to rub it into him. It's like, oh, all the things that he did.
Tell him all this shit before he kills him. Huh. Uh-oh.
Whoopsies.
Some plot convenience. They're already engaged, so they can't.
Yep. No.
Their
No
radios
turning
are off.
back. Yeah. Like they go radio silent on their final approach or something.
I'm concentrating really hard. I can't talk right now.
Don't distract me. I gotta pull the trigger. Yeah, you think that the fighters would have been scrambled immediately when that alarm went off as well, knowing that some other, hostiles were coming in at you. Oh, booyah.
Kablowie.
I love the hanging TIE fighters dropping down and then taking off.
Just drop and go.
It's really cool.
The Aldani,
guns.
the eye backdrop when they were running out to that, and then one of the most beautiful TIE scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah, they did some amazing stuff with those whole hangar scenes.
It's laying on the ground and
that's a big gun taking out X-Wings. Huh. Wow.
Well, it's funny that it's like, is it a gun? Is it a bowcaster? Is it?
It's got some power behind it. It's taking out a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, nope, time to go.
It's like, oh, close enough. Yeah. What's that called? The out of the engines.
What's that?
Away. The force that they have those things at airports to keep like the force of the engines off of like stuff.
Oh, like the back blast or whatever.
Yeah, back whatever it's called. Somebody probably knows. But Stardust. Why was it Operation Stardust? Did you really mean to call me Death Star when I was little?
Death Star is my full name.
That's her. Yeah, that's her proper name. It's amazing how much stuff Mads has been doing, like con-wise and stuff lately, considering that this is a 9-year-old movie. It was really cool to see him come out at, different shows.
He did Japan?
Yeah. He was on stage for a little while. I wonder if they're going to do a re-release of this next year for the 10th anniversary. I wonder if that's going to be incorporated with any of the talks of doing multiple episodes of Andor.
Oh, theatrically.
I really can't wait to see that on a screen with some people. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, in a legit theater.
Yep.
Yeah, and not sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bats. What's
the TIE fighters dropping down and the way that they hung at the ceiling of the hangar, which is very efficient considering.
Yeah, I thought she was going like the Death Troopers reminded her of bats. You guys
Yeah.
remember bats from G.I. Joe? Battle Android Troopers. Sorry, mixing my franchise.
I love how K2 was like, "You're a rebel now." Sort of like how Andor introduced Mon Mothma into the rebellion.
Welcome to the rebellion.
I was just thinking that's how, like, Finn does it in Rise of the Resistance. It's like, I think I have that authority. You're a rebel now.
Yeah. I was surprised at how quickly I was able to get on that when I was at the park on Sunday. The ride was listed as 35 minutes, but I was probably in the hologram room with Ray after like 20. Maybe 25.
That's true. He did.
I love this. It's like, well, obviously I had orders. Right. Maybe some uppity ups knew about it, and they were the motivation. Everybody at Yavin knows. There it is. Yeah, there's some intense conflict going on.
Ooh,
that's right, Jin.
No.
Uh-oh. We have a flashback to prove it.
Yes. Though I tell you that young Casa did not look 6 years old.
No. And how old was the actual actor? What was his name? Antonio? I forget. If Spencer was here, he would know. Yeah, he looked more like he was maybe 12.
Yeah.
But who knows what else they had to do, like similar to what they were doing since he was 6, right?
It's true. Their little kid camp was pretty well established.
Yeah. So they may have been living that sort of life for a while.
Or even before they had to go full kid.
Right. With their
imagine there was a length of time when the families were getting offed. That'd be a fascinating backstory to see more about how the Empire strip mines planets.
Right. Comes in and takes all the resources. That was very much like Gorman, though, as well. That's what their whole thing was.
Just, it wasn't...
Come in for the Calkite and screw everything else.
Well, there just wasn't as established and of an adult, I guess, of a population on...
Or they ended up killing them all. Or working them all to death or something. This is crazy.
Anakin's vacation home.
Yeah. It's like, I have sentimental feelings about this place.
Just can't let those traumas go.
You don't lose your legs and arm in one fell swoop and burn up all, and that often. Very appropriate to see him in a Bacta tank.
Is Cassian the bad guy? And it's, again, from a certain point of view. It's all what people think about and where it is he a spotless hero? No. Is he Superman? Is he Batman? Okay, he's Batman.
Yeah, he's a little ambiguous, but he has to be. It's very much like Luthen was, had to be ruthless at times.
It's good that they show the effect of that too. Like, you have to, yeah, it's pretty hard to maintain 100% purity if you're trying to really change something,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's right.
There's a line of like, how do you exactly?
Definitely a gray area.
That gray area. How do you know exactly what's too much?
Well, that's like in Luthen's first monologue when he's talking to Lonnie, he talks about having to use the tools of his enemy.
Right.
So that kind of implies that whole thing of just being ruthless and going, farther than he would normally.
You're, up against people like this
in the initial scenes. They don't use Spencer's height quite as well because of the way they're shooting.
Right. Well, I think, yeah.
The voice.
I will say that nose to nose, Spencer's probably 6'5", because I'm 6'4", and I think we were just roughly the same.
I was. Yeah, he's got a few inches on me for sure.
Some cool Vader boots and that cool Vader helmet. I'm sure it puts him
gives you those extra few inches for sure.
Yes.
One thing about this is the voice. You can tell it's an older James.
Yeah.
But it's still, amazing. Yeah, Red Eye Vader for sure. That's where you can see that it's a human in the suit, because there was a lot of speculation back in the 70s of is he more droid, is more machine than man kind of thing. But yeah, same with the troopers.
Well, know how Vane Anakin is like, he had him when they replaced the legs, he had him add a couple of inches.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Well, if you're going to go for upgrades,
come on.
Yeah. Step it up. So what did you think of Benjamin Bratt taking over the Bail Organa role?
When I heard about it, I was obviously a little leery because we got the history, but
yeah,
age is aging up, and I don't know if it was all scheduling or desire or whatever, but I thought Benjamin got some nice, good integrity and gravitas, and I think he was a good swap.
He was, the character was more of a dick, I think. He had a lot of blunt things to say and do, but it was. I think he did a great job filling the shoes. Although I really would have liked to have seen Jimmy.
Okay, so here's one of my issues with the storytelling in the last couple episodes of Andor. One of my issues.
A quibble? Bring it. What's the quibble?
There, I have several. But
let's do it.
But Bail Organa is one of them, because he really just kind of when they're on Yavin, he was wishy-washy, arguing back and forth. He was the one who delays and doesn't believe Cassian, or doesn't want to act because of his dislike of Luthen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the things that causes this shit to go bad in Rogue One. I mean, yes, it's a day, but what if they had another day's head start on all of this mess? Don't play the little political game that it's not what we would have thought of Bail Organa.
Mm-hmm.
At least not what I would have thought. But yeah, I mean, there was that, and there was the how little Mon Mothma had by the end of Andor developed into a leader. She's not the leader you see here at the end of that. She's just like, I don't know, maybe we do this, maybe we do that, and Bail is the one that gets to push them away and not
determined or whatever.
Yeah.
That could be the turning point where she was seeing how they were reacting to him, and then her understanding of what he had gone through or whatever changed her a little bit.
Yeah.
Hmm. Was that where they said General Hera? That
It's in the General Syndulla.
General Syndulla. That's what I mean. Not Hera. Hera's the character. Syndulla's the last name. And I think Chopper was in the background
Where?
in this hangar scene.
Yeah, is he
on the loudspeaker? You hear somebody call out General Syndulla.
Interesting.
And then you see Chopper cruise by.
In this?
So, yeah.
Huh.
And a lot of people talked about the General Syndulla could have been Hera's father as well as her. But at this point, I think she was a general. Which is an amazing kind of connection as well.
Yeah, a little for himself, but mostly for their mother.
Yeah, he's gone through a lot to get to this point.
Big speeches. That's the hallmark of the Andor.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. The extended monologue that would have been chopped up or shorter, depending on who's creating the piece. It's classic K2.
Yes.
Or is it here? I don't know.
Okay,
It's one of those scenes.
this is starting. This is starting like one of my bones to pick with Andor Part 2. The little flirty looks back and forth here.
That's true. It's been no time at all since he lost his Bix.
Exactly. And
but
that we know that she's still alive, and he knows that she's still alive. Like when Andor season 2
has it been a year?
Like, it's been a year. Because the baby was definitely, wasn't born the day after she left, right? The baby looked like it was about a year old. So
she left the last group before the final group.
The 7, 8, 9 arc.
So he's been drinking and carousing with his new droid buddy and hanging with Melchi and just being a boy. Maybe he's given up hope on her.
Yeah, it's sort of.
Well, but then I don't like. It's been a year, but when Vel has him has the discussion, it's like, oh no, you need to go find Bix. And,
right.
Like if he really wanted to prior to this, but there was a lot going on.
Yeah, he spent most of his early life looking for his little sis. Why not, expend some energy on Bix?
Well, and she couldn't be hard to find. She went back to where she was when he found him the last time.
You really like farming wheat.
It's like, why could they not find Ben Kenobi on Tatooine with a slightly different name?
I would trust her.
See, that was a great line. I would trust her with my life.
Yeah.
Captain Antilles, I have a mission for you. Nice. That's like a tardigrade spaceship.
Oh, the little
space bear? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I can survive it.
Not me. K2 knows what to say at the wrong time. thought it was interesting that they're KX droids, but they don't have KX in their call number thing. It's K2SO, not KX2SO or K2.
But I thought that it's a variable.
Oh, is that like a okay? That's I think I thought that as well.
It's like KX because there could be like
a X could be any number,
K3 or a K whatever.
But they're not considered RX droids. They're R1, R2, R3 units, whatever, or up to 6 or something. So that's where I was going with that. So
I don't make the rules. I just make guesses.
And that does actually make sense when it comes to that whole thought in terms of having a variable. And where are the rest of the KX droids? We need to have another special edition where there's a handful walking around the Death Star in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Right. Just keep retconning stuff.
Yep. Bring it in.
Well, there's lots of levels of that. There was a thing they showed today. It's like this little bitty dot on the Death Star and said, this is the area. This dot is the area that Luke and Han and Leia were in the entire time they were on the Death Star.
So like a little tiny.
Right.
It's like the whole thing. Everywhere they went is this little bitty dot. And so there's a whole giant part of the Death Star with all of these
other stuff going
innocent
stormtroopers in armor
people
walking around.
Men, women, and children just going about their daily business. What about the cafeteria workers? They didn't sign up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
but why are there stormtroopers in armor, armed? You know, there are laws
just
on
everywhere.
Military bases here in the U.S. about, oh, no, you don't just get to carry around your firearms.
That's the military police.
So, just going in the elevator on the way to the bathroom and you're fully geared up.
Right, exactly. It's like, who are these people policing? Are they expecting intruders? Are they just are these the guys who have to like be armed to keep the cafeteria workers from just bailing?
Exactly. They did not sign up for that job.
Yes.
So yeah, if they would have kept some of that beach stuff in, I would have been very happy, considering how much of the early promotion focused on that until they redid the end. Also, they added Vader at the end, the end scene with Vader, right? That was like a reshoot or
I heard the assistant editor had the idea.
Oh, nice.
He just suggested, he's like, wouldn't it be great, if you blah, 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 and they're like, what? And they did it.
Yeah. Then it'd be interesting to see like the original cut versus what we know now as the movie.
Yeah.
But like I said, they were heavy into the whole beach in Scarif thing, and like both the trailers and the publicity stuff.
Is Spencer ever going to land? He's still swirling in space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got sucked out the airlock, unfortunately.
He's just floating.
I don't even know if he mentioned what he was up to on the chat.
He just said that the power went out and he was going to try and come back in if it ever came back soon, but apparently it didn't come back soon.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he's East Coast?
Yeah, he's in Boston.
I mean, at this, it could be an orb.
He said there was some kind of stormy thing going on.
Well, there are supposed to be bad storms coming.
Lights are flickering. There's a storm here, so that was not long before he got disconnected.
I don't know. For being in a major metropolitan city, is the infrastructure at his neighborhood sucks.
Well, besides the fact that he has spotty Wi-Fi and internet in general to begin with. That's why there's a whole series of Zoom meetings where frozen Spencer images were captured. And then he was gifted a mug at one of our events that had just tons of pictures.
It may or may not have made it to a t-shirt.
Yeah, that too. So it is a sort of a running gag, as it were. Look at this. I don't know if I've ever seen a Andor Imperial Trooper either in like a cosplay. That would be a good one if you did Andor. I guess everybody who does Andor wants to do a classic Andor versus a
doing the
deep cut
let's
Andor.
not do a cosplay as Cassian cosplaying or as in dressed up as an Imperial officer.
Although I think I may have seen this version of Jin, but like carrying the helmet instead of wearing it or something.
Like Imperial Death Star Trooper or whatever that is. Right.
Love how with all their communication capabilities, they're just like, oh, we need a giant dish.
I thought about that. Although I love that scene with Luthen's spaceship and the big dish ship. Like that was an amazing scene. But seriously, the tech needs to rely on an actual dish.
Yes, and it's got to be pointing the right direction.
How are we doing?
Skywalking through Neverland.
Hey. Just saw Richard and Sarah at Comic-Con Revolution over the weekend. They had some amazing panels that I got to watch and participate in as well. They do some fun interactive things, games and trivia, and it's a lot of fun. And I got to show them the cosplay that I had worn for, I think, the third time at that show, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with Queen and Freddie Mercury, but they did the theme for the Flash Gordon movie back in 80 or whatever, 81. And so Freddie had a habit of coming out on stage with the Flash shirt on, and he would be on the shoulders of a Darth Vader cosplayer. And so I did a variation of Freddie on Vader's shoulders as a cosplay that I wore in WonderCon here in Anaheim. Nice. Japan at the celebration, and last weekend at Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, California.
Yes.
So that was directly a result of Spencer and the Skywalkers on one of their streams. One thing I've noticed here is Krennic's gotten a haircut since.
Apparently he had to stop doing that because Lucas wasn't.
Space barber on the way.
See, there you go. Best deep dive cosplay ever.
I just like the weird
brutal.
That's a very polite way of saying cosplay for people who are old and remember stuff like that. Very nice way of saying it.
It could be a newer property or something. It just wouldn't. It's got to be something obscure.
Was that our first shot of Melchi in this?
I think he might have been in one of the earlier hangar scenes or something. This is like his close-up time though.
There he is. Yep.
Light it up. So if you're joining us late, we're at 1:33.
We are
in Rogue One.
Large explosion and
lots of boom going.
And shit, it's about to go down on Scarif.
Yeah. I love the Rebels misdirection with this too. It's a lot of fun. I love how after the fact they are with all of this. The TIE fighters should have scrambled on the other planet once they started getting, taking fire, or before the X-Wings came in technically. And then it's like, oh, let's wait till all the explosions happen. And then, so how much time did you guys spend in that location there that they just showed on Canary Wharf in the tube station in London?
The ISB walk up?
Yeah, they just showed the troopers running through there again.
Oh, was that the underground station?
Yeah, with the.
I didn't go to that one. I went to the outdoor.
Oh, okay.
Walk up where Cyril was stalking Dedra.
The tube stop was near the Breakfast Club where the event was at. I wasn't there, so I didn't get to go visit it. So.
I love those wonky graphics that mean nothing.
Oh yeah. It's just like, here we can make computery looking stuff. Let's put that on the screen. Ooh. Smackdown. Well, we've seen what KX droids can do.
Oh,
that was definitely very mild compared.
Well, and it's again like, why were there not more of those? Where did it have them there?
Another thing that's too expensive or something.
Yeah, but we can build a giant moon-sized space station twice.
Ooh. What I really liked about some of the armor that they showed in Andor was the variations of some of these new armor types that they had in that, like the ISB troopers with their sort of
the half
minimalist, no helmet, and then the one driver had like the shore trooper helmet, but with no face mask element of it. It just had the weird kind of pointy sides.
Some overt fan service in there.
Kind of rebel troopers here.
I gotta say the AT-AT reaction is probably one of the coolest things.
Oh yeah, when it turns its head, like starts shooting.
It's gotta be coming up.
Okay. Yeah, it was too many bugs in the K2 droids, too unpredictable for them to have.
Probably too easy to reprogram too, like K2 was.
Pop their noggin off and
yeah.
Oh,
there we go. It's the library. Yeah, I love how he's like, from where he's at, he can figure out that they just need to use the other hand. And here comes some AT-ATs. I like the subtle not upgrade, but differences between these and what we end up seeing like on Hoth. It's like these ones are the Caribbean versions. Right. So they have the little sort of, beige accents.
Oh, this is like the running through the forest here and just blowing up and getting. It's the trooper scene in Jurassic World. T-Rex just stepped on that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it does have that kind of monster movie kind of feel when they're just stomping on everything. I love how this is very reminiscent of like a Star Destroyer bridge.
Yeah.
Different enough. Some of this repurposing of footage is so amazing in this scene.
They did a really good job cleaning it up.
And yeah, I'm putting them in updated ships and everything with the old actors doing, lines that were discarded or whatever. Oh no.
Booyah. Oh, no. Close the shield. Ooh, not so much.
Turf.
And then the fact that they live to slide along it and just bang into the side. Ooh.
Oh no.
bad things.
We knew you were going to die from the get-go. Even when this movie was watched the first time, I'm like, I came to the realization while I was watching this that everybody's going to die at the end because,
right.
Spoiler alert, because partially because you don't see or hear of many of them, if any, in ultimately later movies, which were earlier movies, and that thing. But
later movies, which were earlier, yeah.
I remember talking to a friend about how you have to realize that everybody is going to die when you go to see this movie. Manny Bothans. Good old Manny Bothans. I love how he's like, it's like the best gift he's ever gotten was a blaster.
Yes, I'm giving you a blaster.
It's a heartfelt gift.
Well, yeah, no, it's like you don't. Is episode 4 is those characters?
That's true. There's a lot of characters that lived through season 2 of Andor that do not die in this movie, but we don't see it again.
But
the galaxy's huge, so it's a big galaxy. Booyah! Whoop! Ow! Right in my eyeball.
Boom.
He's like, nope.
And then it just like looks back at him.
Oh, and then there's a good shot.
Very pissed off Godzilla.
Like David mentioned a minute ago, is very kind of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World kind of. Bodhi's got to step up.
Yeah, it's like, no, nothing's happening. It's always something, the little major things.
It's got to be an analog element to every thing that they have to do.
Difficult to reach switch.
Yes, it's like, again, that's very reminiscent of like Jurassic Park. They had to run out to the middle of nowhere to go to the electrical box to reset stuff back on. Breakers. Exactly.
Well, maybe it's part of the 70s technology throwback. Is you can't have like your Bluetooth connectivity to the main.
Oh, I got an app for that. Never mind.
Yeah.
Communications override app. See, all this stuff in the water is so cool. If we could have saw troopers chasing rebels through the water.
Yeah.
Even like some of this, just adding maybe a couple of scenes of them in the water.
Ouch. Split it. I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great shot.
Yeah. Some of those AT-ATs took some amazing damage.
You could cosplay the front half of the split AT-AT from scratch.
There you go.
Exactly. We'll have somebody following you, like
that's the back half. Trying to catch up,
like stumbling along. Put some LEDs and make it look like it's getting zapped. I love this.
Keep working.
K2. There's one. There we go. Here's some K2 collateral damage. Oh. Nice.
Oh, got the back head. Boom.
That move looked like a Brandon Wayne in the Mando outfit kind of gunslinging move that K2 did there. Look, this is great right here. More of the original red and gold and blue squadrons.
Right.
Oh, actually, the blue squadron was replaced with gold, I think, because of the blue screen limitations back in the late mid 70s.
It's like a drone swarm. That was great.
Yeah, look at that. Very imposing.
There we go. Melchi.
Bodhi's the pilot.
Yes.
It's a big. It looks like a light switch, and it's red. It's giant. Just got to flip it. Look at that. Dead at.
It's a giant switch, inexplicably placed on the beach.
Yeah.
Controls everything.
Yeah,
we need
why-
right now.
No.
It's a plot
All
switch.
the
You can't miss
communication.
it.
Yeah, it's exactly. All of it. There it is.
Keep probing it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how we get a red 5 in this.
Well,
Some
for a little
young,
bit.
a young Asian kid that just gets his little moment in the sun,
No.
Bye.
and then he's gone. Oh, we need a new red 5. We got anybody in mind? Some of these varying ships, like that TIE fighter with the weird, like regular wings, is like crazy looking.
I've never seen that anywhere else.
Yeah, well, that was
It must
probably like
have
a
come from somewhere
prototype.
for-
That was a prototype, and they just blew it up. Won't see those again. Well, oh no, running! Oh, you went around that thing, dummy. What are you doing?
Yoink.
Of course, you got to run out of cable. Should have got a 100-footer instead of a 50-footer.
Did you move the ship like 3 yards closer?
She's like, I'm the Death Star. I'm Bodhi. I'm Stardust. I'm the Death Star. Oh, jeez. Some of those guns have
I'm the pilot.
amazing power out of some of those guns.
Yeah, well, when it knocks the person halfway across the room, it's like a cool stunt.
Yeah.
What do you think about the
Stardust.
theory that stormtrooper armor actually does work? That it's just like these people get back up afterwards. They're just like it's
We just don't
causing-
see them.
Yeah.
Just
We move
incapacitating.
Yes.
And then
They shake it off after the camera stop. When the Steadicam guy passes, they're like, "Wait a minute, wait, I'm
Yeah.
not dead
Oh wait.
yet."
Right.
Back.
Right when they're out of frame, all of a sudden they're like getting back up. Oh no. More power issues. Oh man,
dead.
K2. Yeah, with the way his voice starts to like fluctuate.
Climb.
Damn, he's getting tore up. His casing is giving up.
No.
Look at that. Oh no.
Oh,
See, we got to see a little bit of the buddies and why this was so heartbreaking for Cassian and Andor. I just wanted to see more of that. I wanted to like,
Yeah.
I literally wanted like,
See, they could have had a whole season on just K2SO.
yeah,
yeah, it is pretty short for such a significant and great,
Yeah.
funny character.
And like they have that first like encounter, and then all of a sudden that arc is over. So there's that whole year that we didn't see anything of, and then we
Teaching
see
him
him.
to play cards, and then suddenly he's gone.
Yeah. Oh.
it's like we gotta get that thing open.
You can. It's just not looking very good.
It's not going to be easy. Now he's just got a handful of cable instead of that whole big backpack thing. Well, just made it. Luckily, it wasn't on the dashboard. Oh, there's some more of those ships.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's pretty cool.
It's got a standard kind of fighter look to it, though. It makes it more real world looking. Oh no. Blue leader's down. Oh, there's some on the beach.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we didn't get the the wading through the water like you
Yeah. And then there's the scene of Jin running on the beach with the actual plans in her hand that was completely cut. But that's because they ended in, well, they get the transmission done from the tower, and they don't need to have the physical plans of the beach. I guess it had to be transported from wherever they got it to wherever they needed to send it, and they cut that element out.
Oh yeah, that's who's in the cool bird.
Yep, the big boys. Yeah, they're not playing around. Coming to clean shit up. Yeah, those helmets are amazing. I need to get one of the Death Trooper helmets.
Is that Melchi? Oh no, come on, Melchi.
Troy needs Bodie to run his cables at his gigs. He'll get it done.
On at least the second try.
Eventually, it's all that matters. This is crazy. Like, no, I'm not going to just randomly jump across to try to hopefully grab onto some kind of structure. Yeah. It's like he had to go run out to one thing to connect and then something somewhere else to actually physically pull the switch.
The beach switch. There it is. Yeah. Oh,
all those beach connections that you don't want filled with sand, but
saltwater sand. Great place to put them.
There it is.
You stick it on a riser.
You'd think it'd be more centrally located as well. Wow. Oh.
Yeah. These are some like amazing people at just like recreational rock climbing. They're everywhere.
This is so.
Yep. It's time.
He knows he's done. That blaster that Cassian has is very reminiscent of a solo blaster, I think.
I wasn't looking at it as much. I know the one that he carried in, and
the other one is very different.
More like a
Ray's
blaster. Yeah. The one that Han gave Ray.
Oh yeah, there it is. Pull the damn thing. He was like feeling all around. If he got shot before he did that, that would be bad.
Yep. There we go.
Oh, am I falling off over here?
The blind man flipped the switch.
Yep, after he felt around for a while.
Oh,
when I saw this, I was watching this the other day. I was like, "Oh wait, what? What?
Cassian's dead."
I just watched 2 seasons of Cassian. He can't die like that.
Spoilers to people that watched Andor first and didn't watch Rogue One. Like, Well,
I already talked about everybody dying.
Right.
Here we go with a few of them right here. It would have been great to have Donnie Yen's character continue on. We need some more stuff of young these guys when they were before he was disenchanted by this whole thing.
Yeah, Koenig's Cape was like his own. It was his own character in this movie.
I love the lighting inside the TIE fighter cockpits too. There's things like that, little subtle things that they improved upon.
Radix kind of saucy. He's always probing and pressing.
Yep.
Go torpedoes.
Uh-oh.
There you go. No. That's what you want.
There's that alarm we heard at the beginning of the show.
Hit it. Hit it now.
This is Rogue 2. I'm Bodie. I'm the pilot.
Mm-hmm.
The Hammerhead Corvette that I called a Corellian Corvette for some reason. But I think they are both Corellian vessels.
So most of the ships I thought were made on Corellia.
Yeah, a lot of Corellian vessels. Oh no!
Dying left and right. Oh, geez.
You were Bodie. You were the pilot.
Oh no! So much for that.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the transmission, and he's just like, fuck it. He does have a nice weapon though.
And is he wearing just like a repaint of like that kind of armor that we were talking about? No, it's very.
It's a little different. It's a different kind of feel. It's more roundy and it's not as like geometric.
Yeah, it's not that modified K2 chest or whatever, or modified snow trooper chest.
Yeah, it's sort of probably a play on that, but it's not like straight from that.
So
this can't be easy.
Server room like a spider monkey.
Yeah, it's interesting how they have
the final thing is a choppy gate.
Yeah, it's like, oh, don't get caught in there. It's like going through the blades of a fan, right?
Yeah, which would be more practical than having that there for no reason. That just
I love this. Just smash into that. I love how he's got in that big control room. They have those handles for him to hold on to when they smashed into the Star Destroyer. Booyah.
Like, oh, this battle is not going well.
Well, insert the 8-track tape. All right, there we go.
Oh yeah, well, Galaxy Quest is the Star Wars, Star Trek that we should have gotten.
One more thing.
Yeah,
on another inexplicably difficult place.
Yeah, it's like
object.
Yeah, you have to go way out onto this little platform to actually get it to engage. It's like, why couldn't the controls for that be right next to what she was just working with? Or better yet, at the base. This is crazy how they just...
Why wasn't it next to the master switch?
Yeah, there you go.
Switch on the beach. Just like, could we turn a little
or the plug
AM or something? I don't know.
This reminds me of that
as like a writing room concession of like, okay, well, we need to buy her 12 seconds of time. Great, put the thing this many feet away. Have her run.
Yeah, make her run out to it. I love the scenes of the Star Destroyers smashing into each other. Reminds me of that footage of the cruise ships colliding that happened a while back, where the front end of one took out like the observation deck of another one.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to been on the ships, but it was interesting to see the video. This is crazy. Uh-oh. There's that line again.
Isn't she supposed to say I'm the pilot? No.
I'm Bodie. I'm the pilot. I was the one that ran away from you.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Mm-hmm. My name is Galen Erso. You killed my father. Prepare to die. No. Oh.
Nope. Not yet.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Right in his bullet-resistant chest cape.
His cape didn't deflect that time. I love how they use their giant ship against them.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they're using their 14.4 modem to upload. Don't pick up the phone. I'm trying to upload a file.
I'm getting on the internet.
Yeah, so it's like a fax.
Yeah.
See, kids, we're talking about the olden days of the World Wide Web when you'd get onto a baud modem.
Yes.
14.4.
If you picked up the phone, it just screamed at you.
Well, then you got disconnected, which was the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, picking up the phone and hearing that screeching noise was quite
Before
interesting.
you could download.
When that Kathy Ireland swimsuit model photo was like halfway through the JPEG lines, you're like, oh, God,
yes.
Just trying to get the rest of it. Come on. Yeah, the way stuff would load was classic.
Line by line.
Those
images line by line.
Wire.
Just trying to look at a simple JPEG.
That's
you had to invest a lot of time and effort.
You really did. Kids don't know how good they've got it these days.
Indeed. All right. Hey, the elevator's still there. Nobody else called it. Oh, the scene that I was talking about that I thought tied in actually just happened during the space battle. There was one of the pilots that said something about going in low or something, and when I heard it on my rewatch the other day where I was doing other things and it was on in the background, it sounded like, let's do this for Luthen, or I'm going to do it for Luthen. And I had to go rewind it because I was like, he didn't say Luthen, did he? And of course, here's the version of the space laser. Got to kill two birds with one stone. Shoot through the dish and blow up the base.
Oh, nope. Here it comes, though. And it's like, we're out.
Oh, there's some bad timing. That's one thing that I really liked in this as well, is doing things like that, like having that Star Destroyer enter into the fray as others are trying to leave and just be in the way.
Right.
Doing some damage.
Yeah, they need to add do a special edition of this and add some Andor stuff.
Everything must be integrated.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy to read this as just like, mutual respect. We made it through. Now we're going to die. I don't think it's all like we're in
lovey-dovey
love.
I don't know. No. Is it like... I feel it less now rewatching after watching Andor than I did the first time I watched Rogue One.
Yeah, you can certainly read that in not knowing the history, but
right, having all that backstory though changes it. Look at that. Oh,
oof, brutal.
And no more Rogue One. Such great camera moves and things that you wouldn't have gotten.
This whole sequence, just like from the music, the whole
this right here.
Up.
Well, so right, because if this wasn't, a part of and tied into the whole saga, that the movie could have ended right there and still been a damn good movie.
Yeah, they could have just left it off. But adding this was just like over the top.
Genius.
What's amazing about this scene too is I know they did a reenactment in Japan, which I saw a video partially of, but the one that they did in 2017 in Orlando was amazing. And they had hallways and doors to work with and stuff, with a Vader cosplayer chasing down all these rebel troopers. It was amazing. You got to look for the 2017 Orlando video reenactment.
Was that Spencer running this scene as well?
Yeah, I believe he returned to I mean, this would be where you'd have all the fun for sure.
Right? No, this is great.
Yeah, you don't want to just do the big, like, I'm walking in the room and like
doing the little force whatever, but this is the next level Vader that we all wanted for so long.
Oh yeah, proper introduction.
Yeah, like if you if you hadn't seen any Star Wars and you started with this movie, and then you see him come into the, scenes following, you have a different respect for the character. Although he was extremely imposing back in the day, even without that. So I think we'd let our imaginations do more of the work back then. That reveal. Yeah, it is kind of weird lighting on her. She's very sort of evenly lit.
It's like Pixar's version of Princess Leia. Now,
amazing.
R2 and C-3PO were just on Yavin. Did they call for a Princess Leia Uber?
Maybe. Well, it has been.
Well, we were just saying
like in 3 hours, right?
This whole thing takes place just like an hour after.
Well, no, not the whole thing. The beginning. There's obviously after that scene, I think there's a lot more time involved.
Yep.
To get to this point.
But see, just you're saying like it from wherever Andor was, he was on Yavin to get to the next place. It's like an hour. It's like the hyperspace. It's not very far.
Yeah, literally, it's
Yavin to wherever.
They could have got there fairly quickly, regardless.
Plot time.
So maybe that's the she pulled in after Andor took off.
Had a little catch-up meeting with Mon Mothma.
Yeah. Met up with the droids and took them with her.
You guys are cute. Come on, let's go for a ride.
You're a fun pair.
Yeah, it's obvious, obvious cinematic conveniences, pretty minimal. I think all in all flows well again with what they did with Andor. Yeah, I think they both stand on their own really well, and they integrate pretty nicely too.
I got to meet Gareth not too long ago, and I was wearing my Rebels jacket with the traditional Rebel logo on the back. Not Rebels, but it's a jacket with the Rebel logo. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I got the Rebel logo. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, the one I'd used for Rogue One was like sort of based off Japan Airlines and da-da-da. Mm-hmm. It's a variation if you really look at it. It's got a very kind of similar vibe to both.
So now
different logos.
Track down a Japan Airlines jacket.
Stuart Baird. I never noticed that. Additional editing by Stuart Baird. So he was a really great editor back in the day, and then he had a very brief bit of directorial work on Star Trek.
Matt Wood.
Nemesis. I think he directed Nemesis.
Okay.
Which, of course, you would know because
you were in that one.
Well, there you go. First-hand info. Well, anyways, that was amazing. Thank
Daniel Neprow.
Oh, okay.
Neprus.
I wonder who played which one.
Oh, yeah.
I think whoever played the later version would have had more fun. Although I'm sure it was amazing to be in the suit regardless.
I'd like to know the division of labor and or when
like
when Tony Gilroy came on and what he ended up doing with this.
He was listed as a writer or something at the very beginning. Yeah. Carl Caffrey, I only noticed because my last name is Caffrey. He was in this. I think is the same in the same position in the Andor series as well. But yes, definitely thank you for joining us, Marty. I don't know how much of the credits we're all going to watch. I'm going to stop mine now.
Yeah, it's always so much fun to have like another perspective, and definitely having an industry perspective on this.
Yeah, we're total pro. I know all the things.
got all the insights. No,
you know what? As I've told you guys before, like I'm in this just because I'm a fan. Like I love cinema.
That makes it
I never desired to be like, I'm going to be famous and a performer. No, man, I just love movies, and I just always want to
that's a great motivation
in whatever way I could and try to figure stuff out, because I just I love watching this, and I like having a better understanding of how things work, whether it be from an acting side or an editorial side, from the camera side. Like it all just enhances my enjoyment of cinema.
Oh yeah,
love it. Well,
it's really cool that you could be part of something if you're a fan of it, like Star Wars.
I feel fortunate, and I really wish I could still be involved, but you can't exactly call someone and say, put me in something, but the opportunity ever arises. I mean, 100%. This is one of the most fun worlds to be involved in.
Nobody saw Vane die.
That's right.
There was nobody.
No
I could see
dead body.
A rebel that has a striking resemblance to one Marti Matulis popping up somewhere as well. He doesn't have to have a prosthetic on.
Let's go. I'm getting
grow the beard out a little more.
Prosthetic stuff.
A little grizzled,
Man, if I could just keep this going. That's the only problem with doing creature suit stuff. You can't really get too far. And I've never gone past like some point. Well, yeah, even this. Like, I'm just going to let this go for the next week and a half because Monster Palooza. I'm getting back into a makeup for Joel Harlow's Old Time Radio shorts. I've seen those. They're pretty fun. He does kind of like a Creepy Comics version of Uncle Creepy and Cousin Eerie.
That's fun.
But yeah, gotta take it off.
Yeah,
yet again.
Got to give him a clean base to work with, right?
One of these days, I'll let the Viking beard go.
Yeah, I just shaved my beard over the weekend, partially to do the cosplay that I did, but also I hadn't shaved it in a long time, so I was like, but now I'm already 5 o'clock shadow times 10,
scruffing out.
It'll be back to some sort of beard shortly. So
yeah, what about yours, Spencer? Spencer?
What?
Spencer?
No.
Oh, Spencer.
Oh. Well, he was fun to have while he was here.
Yeah.
But again, anyways, thank you again.
Yes.
Like Adrian said, it was great.
Absolutely great. And it will be great to see you in person and hang out with you again very shortly in just a couple of months.
Going to Texas. See y'all in Texas.
Yep, we will be there.
And go to Texas, and
hopefully Spencer won't lose connection there. But
he's in person and he loses connection. And
make sure he's got his head-mounted Starlink dish.
Oh, before we go, Chantel has a question.
Yeah. Do I do silicone full mask, or do you do piece prosthetics? Vane specifically, he was three pieces of foam, not silicone, but foam latex, cowl, face, chin, and then contact lenses and teeth.
Nice.
He's a foam latex dude. Most of the creatures on Evil, if you've seen any of that, the faces were almost all silicone, and then the suits were foam. So there could be combos of those two.
Very
cool.
Cool.
I like technical questions. Anyone else?
Well, anybody else got any final questions before we decide to call it quits?
I'm watching to see if any text.
We do have a handful of viewers right now, but
how many people were in? How many watch-alongs?
Looks like 9 right now, but it fluctuates.
Yeah, and we don't get to
find 9.
All the media is to work. It's a weirdness of the StreamYard.
Yeah, so, but we'll get some good watches on this after the fact as well. People like to pick them up and check them out later, so that's fun.
Living on YouTube?
Yes, YouTube and on Facebook. And
I've heard of Facebook. I remember that.
We love that the people love to do all this stuff on demand, because we understand that, for those in the UK who this is ridiculously stupid late.
Yeah, and timing is not good.
On the East Coast, it's tough for a lot of people to stay up.
It's after midnight already over there, so
right. Well, I have someone in the household who has not seen the last episode of Andor season 2, which now I need to go jump and watch.
Oh, nice.
So
Well, there you could be interesting
hold her hand
juxtaposition.
Yeah.
And then you've got to watch Rogue One again immediately because you got to jump right back into it.
She doesn't remember it. I was like, remember K2SO when he showed up in Rogue One? She's like, what? So we need a full refresher now.
Clotheslining Jin. Marty says thanks for the help on the trains in Tokyo.
Troy. Okay, now I see a little picture down there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's Troy.
We randomly ran into each other at a stop, like way out from the center, and like I think I overheard them talking about something, and we all kind of like found our train way into the show. Good seeing you, Troy.
Chantel's talking about she does makeup and does wigs.
Nice.
And she's in IATSE.
Hair tires and hair punchers, that business.
Sometimes she'll join us for the Tuesday Zoom chat where we kind of just get together and bullshit while she's actually putting hair in a wig, doing a little punching, which is fun to watch, but it looks very tedious.
I have a couple of friends, Kenny Myers and Karen Myers. Karen Myers is a fine wig maker. I think she's done a lot of Harrison Ford's hairs and just a bunch of stuff. But watching that process. Yikes. Patience and detail work.
Yeah, huge. But again, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We look forward to having you on in the future for another whatever it is. We're going to be watching A New Hope next week.
Oh, cool.
So it will connect directly from what we just saw into A New Hope.
Moments on.
So that's kind of fun to continue that sort of progression from Andor. So we did the watch along of season 1 before Japan, and then season 2 obviously as the show premiered, and now Rogue One, and then A New Hope following. So
it's really fun stuff.
Yes.
Thank you again, gents. Keep up the good work.
And we'll look forward to seeing you at Rebel Scum Con at Bunta Eve on August 8th.
August 8th? Boy, that seems like a ways.
Yeah, it is.
It's not
so much closer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a
it's coming.
It's creeping up on us. Oh, and also let's mention our sponsors for that.
Absolutely, yes.
Speaking of wigs and hair and prosthetics, Art of Wigs, and
look at all that
our friend that Plum Askew and Mood and Jennifer Leslie, I don't know, Michelle with My MTA, and then Colebrook Dale Candle Company as well.
Candle Company, nice.
Yes, and I think we're getting some more sponsors coming up. So
I think there was talk of that as well. And like Chantel says, everyone have a good night, and rebellions are built on hope.
May the force.
Peace out, gentlemen.
Thank you
See you next time.